Welcome back to Getting Worked. It's your boy Jared. I got my boy Ian here, and my camera locked up.
You and your camera. Camera's just not your friend this week.
I don't know why.
It
I
is
do
not
not know
your friend
why.
this week.
Oh, good grief. Well, at least they can.
You want to do take two?
No. I can kind of mess around with that while we're doing. Luckily, they don't even need to see me very much for what we're doing.
Right.
So, tell them what we are doing. How about we start with that?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's NFL draft week, so we're gonna do some mock drafts. I think we're gonna do sort of three versions of it. The first version we'll do rounds or 1 through 3. Anything beyond 3, it's total guesswork. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Rounds 1 through 3 might be a little bit of that, but we're gonna do NFC East focused. So we're gonna pick for the Giants, the Washington football team, the Cowboys, and one other team from Philadelphia, some little team. So we'll pick for the Eagles as well. The That'll be the first version. The first round we or the first kind of go through. We won't accept any trades, so the computer will offer us trades. We won't accept anything. That way, it'll be a kind of a good, as clean as it can be. Take on what we think and where everybody's really picking and who could be available at the time. So we'll go with that. Then the second one we'll accept those trades if it's a good trade, we'll accept it, that type of thing. Again, rounds 1 through 3, and again NFC East focused.
Yep.
And then we'll do a third one where it's our teams. So we'll do the Giants focused. I'll pick for the Giants. You'll pick for Washington, and we'll go from there. So
Cool.
that's kind of our goal for the evening.
All right. Well, let me get us in place for the screen loading up. Boom. There we are. So, yeah, you get things rolling. I am gonna try and figure out what the heck is going on with this camera of mine while you're doing that.
Okay.
And yeah, but with that, I'm gonna hand it over to you, buddy.
All right. Do you want to? We could have gotten this. You want to pick for Washington and maybe Dallas, or maybe the Eagles? Probably the Eagles. I tell you what, you're a Washington fan.
Right.
I'm a Giants fan. We would take the lesser of the two evils. I will pick for the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah, because
And
you
you
don't
can
want me
pick for
doing
that
that.
other team.
Yeah, because I can't, in good conscience,
Yeah,
give them anybody good.
Ditto. So the first one we will legitimately try to go. I can't promise after that.
Exactly.
I will have a smart comment every time that little shiesty no heart team comes up. And I hope we're gonna get stomped into the ground this year when we play them twice.
Pretty
So
much.
yes, but yeah, we'll do the draft. And as much as I'm kind of picking back and forth, I'm not picking, but I'm dead serious about most of what I've said about the Eagles. But
Tell them how you really feel, man. Just
yeah, exactly. I'm dead serious there. I think just about all Giants fans are, but we'll legitimately go through and do the draft. Like I said, it's going to be NFC. So at the time when the Cowboys are picking, I'm definitely going to pick as if I was them, and hopefully you can do the same for the Eagles, and we'll go from there.
Okay, I think that sounds good. Oops, hold up. Sorry.
No worries.
Yeah, let me get it. There we go. All right.
Jared is upside down.
Yeah. Well, at least I was something as opposed to. I'm trying to figure out how to add this other camera back in as opposed to. I got to figure out what's going on with this other. Anyway, it has to be something.
Always.
Let me do that.
So the website that I'm using is profootballnetwork.com/mock draft. It's actually a really good site. I really like doing it on here. Again, you can kind of pick whatever team. If you just kind of see the screen right here, you can pick. So if you're, Raiders fan, you could just click your button and you can draft as them. You could draft for every team. You can draft for just your team, and it kind of goes through. You can do rounds 1 through 7, or just first, second, that type of thing. So it's really cool. It's a really cool site. So
Sweet. Cool.
you let me know when you're ready, and I'll go ahead and
I'm
kick it off.
good. I'm good. Yeah, I got the other camera
All
rolling
right.
so they can see me and all that good stuff. So, yay.
All right. Cool. All right. So let's draft. So when I click that, of course, they start drafting. Shockingly, Trevor Lawrence goes first. Zach Wilson went second. Mac Jones went third. Trey Lance. Jalen Waddle goes to the Bengals. They do not go and get Jamar Chase. Wow. Okay. So Jalen Waddle goes to the Bengals. Kyle Pitts. Well, I think he's probably best player of the draft. Kyle Pitts goes to Miami. Jamar Chase goes to the Lions. Penny Sewell falls all the way down to the number 8 pick, so he goes to the Panthers. Justin Fields, the Denver Broncos, grab him up. So, like I said, for this first time through, we're not going to do accept any of these, but these are the types of offers that are out there. We're going to reject all of them for now. Yeah, it was not too bad. We'll reject all of those. That is probably a real thing that is going to happen. We all know Chicago needs a quarterback, so they will probably be hunting.
But along
this
with
is also a really handy feature. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, it seems like a lot of teams right now really need a quarterback.
Yeah.
I know, like the Bills really looking at one. I know, obviously, New Orleans is going to be in the market, and so for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
And so
Drew Brees.
He's
retiring.
Yep. So I think that, and I don't know how quarterback heavy this draft is. Especially
very heavy at the top.
Okay. Oh,
very.
There you go.
There's about 5. There's probably about 5 quarterbacks. But quarterbacks are so screwy because there's always some team that'll draft one they draft them far too early. It's never not that necessarily they're the 5th best player or the 4th or 3rd or 2nd best player. I mean, there's Trevor Lawrence, and he's that guy. He's the number 1 pick. There's no question. Let's move on. After that, the next 3, you can almost interchange them, I think. I'm not as crazy about Zach Wilson. The Jets are probably going to take, all rumor says that they're taking him number 2. I don't know. Something about him just has bust written on him. Well, I don't know. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
And it worries me.
It may just be because the Jets are trying to pick him, and I'm like, oh, he must suck.
Yeah. It worries me when you have teams that are kind of in that position where they really need a quarterback, and relatively quickly, because your quarterback's one of those positions where it really seems to work best if you can bring them in, let them work under a vet, learn the ropes, learn the system, get in there, and not necessarily have to play right away.
They don't do that anymore, though. I agree with you. I always thought that was a better way of doing it.
And
but
so,
it's not the way it goes anymore.
No, and that is what it is. But you really run into more like potential busts, and it's not always fair. I think you get I just think back to what was his name? What was that one quarterback that came? He went to the then Washington Redskins. Had like 3 or 4 different coaches. He came out of Stanford.
Oh, Stanford.
Something like that. He came out of somewhere.
I was thinking RG3. But
no. Even before that, like before him, he came in, and he had like 5 or 6 different coaches. I'll figure it out.
I was gonna say,
because it really wasn't his fault. It basically, bottom line is, and even the name's not all that relevant. You had a guy who was a good, solid quarterback, really had a better skill set than what his record
I think I know
showed.
who you're talking about. I can
And
see
and
his
again,
face as
like
plain as day.
when you get someone in there that has, again, like I think he went through 5 or 6 different head coaches,
It's always
throughout the
tough.
run, and again, kind of got started maybe a little bit too soon, and just never really got to get a good foundation underneath of him to really help
Hmm.
develop himself as a good solid player. And it's a quarterback's one of those positions where you have to have a good solid base
You do.
around
You
you, and you
really
go
do.
through that kind of turmoil, forget about it, man. You just can't,
Especially for a quarterback with different offensive philosophies. If I'm going from a West Coast offense to a guy that likes to ground and pound, that's a very different kind of thing. One offense that wants me to, air it out and be wide open and turnovers be damned type of thing, to a guy that's you want to play manager. You want a game manager. So
it's
I mean, those are very different things.
it was
So yeah,
Jason
I think that's.
Campbell. Jason Campbell's the one I was thinking
Oh yeah,
about.
yeah, yeah. Okay, okay.
Um, really, really just never got a good chance.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He got jerked around quite a bit. So I can't. It's hard for me to look too sadly on Washington quarterbacks that didn't make it. So
No, I get
and I'm
it.
fine with you taking the shots back across the arena there. So, but yeah, yeah. So this is going to be a struggle. This is a test for both of us on how we can do.
Okay.
So
Yep.
one thing I do want to point out, we have it has other nice little thing, team needs that they have
Mm,
listed here. So it looks like Dallas, they need defense. Lord, oh Lord, do they need? I didn't have to look at this to know that Dallas needs defense.
yeah.
They can't stop anybody. I mean, their secondary especially was dreadful last year, and that's not me picking on Dallas. I mean, it's just a fact of the matter. They were terrible. If you're a Cowboys fan, you know it as well as anybody. So you need defense, cornerback, safety. If you can play defense, you need especially secondary. Couldn't cover anybody. So we're gonna go secondary here, just to give you an idea of who's out there on the board. Rashard Slater, who's an outstanding guard tackle from Northwestern, Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn. Those are sort of the only. Honestly, those are probably about the only three guys I would look at this point. And because of that, I don't see any way around. It's been Patrick Surtain almost since the season ended. So we're going to go Patrick Surtain there. Corner out of Alabama. Uh, the Giants are up next. So the Giants will have, again, we're going to just, you see, Chicago's going to show up a lot here as long as there's a quarterback on the board that's available. Those are trade offers. Like I said, we're not going to accept any in this first go around. We need, and just let's take a look. We need edge. We need offensive line, specifically guard or tackle, wide receiver, and linebacker. We need some impact players. That's really what it comes down to. We need an impact player on defense, or we need an impact player on offense, whether that's line or our linebackers are bad. Very. I'm going to, in one of our drafts, I will tell you this. In one of our drafts, I'm going to take this guy. It won't be here. It won't be here. But I'm going to take him. As a Giants fan, I think we're getting distracted too much with the glitz and glamour of wide receivers and offensive toys that could be out there. I'm looking at you, Devontae Smith. Uh, it's not a knock on Devontae Smith. I think he's going to be a really good player, really good wide receiver. And the fact that there's a team picking directly after me that I would prefer not to see him become Deshaun Watson or Deshaun Jackson 2.0.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that is always a case. But as a Giants fan, I have to again. I look to the in the words of Triple H. You go to your blood. You go to your blood and what you're made of. It's gonna be him in one of these drafts, but it won't be this one. In this one, there's no way in the world I could pass on Slater. He is an outstanding guard tackle. He fixes a problem that has been a problem for the Giants for far, far, far too long. It's offensive line. And
Mm-hmm.
all the toys that we have on offense now, we got Galladay in the offseason and things like that. If your quarterback can't stand upright, if Barkley, who's coming off an injury, Barkley's our best player. It's not even close. You design the offense around him. What does a running back need? Line. So with that, I will take Rashard Slater, offensive tackle, guard, whichever one. He makes our line better, and that's what we need.
Yeah, that works.
So you're
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
I'll let
So,
you
so
talk about the Eagles.
the
And I mean the Eagles. That's right. This is the official one. The Eagles.
the
They're a
Eagles.
team.
The Eagles. Yeah, they are a
Look,
team. What they're looking at: quarterback, wide receiver. They need a bit of a mix here. It seems.
they need a whole team.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's not picking on them. They legitimately they're in the rebuilding phase.
Right.
They're
Right.
yeah they're definitely in the root, tear it all down and have torn it down and are going to rebuild. So it's probably going to be a tough season for them.
Sure.
I'm so sorry.
Nah. I mean, it's just is what it
Uh,
is. I
One of the
think.
big questions with them, sorry, I was
No,
going to
go
say, I
ahead.
know that one of the big questions with them is how much do you believe in Hurts as quarterback?
Right.
So that's sort of where they need to probably pick and decide. Up to you, man.
Not that I have much skin in the game, but I will be fair. I will be fair. You decided not to go with Devonta Smith. Devonta Smith.
Hmm. Yeah,
They do need a wide receiver. Again, they could use just about anything. I figure, if anything, with what's on the board, I would say that um, he seems to be one of those types of receivers that could possibly make a subpar quarterback look a lot better.
sure. Throw a little
So
bubble screen and
yeah,
he runs it for 80 yards. Yeah,
yeah. You never
he's
know.
definitely that guy.
So, and that you never. I mean, in any system, that never hurts. So
No.
I'm gonna be fair to the Eagles, and I figure if I'm in this spot and I see Devonta still on the board, I'm gonna go with it. So
All right.
I'll give him that.
Yeah, I think that's probably the way they would go, to be honest with you. I think from their perspective, they would hope that somebody like Rashard Slater is sitting there to make the Giants go, oh, we'll go away from wide receiver briefly. Your team.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we have here.
So there's a couple. I was gonna say I'll flick through these just real quick,
Sure. I mean it. Yeah, I get it. Um, yeah.
just to give you an idea. Those will probably
Yeah.
be the same type of offers that are gonna come your way the next time around too.
Right. Right.
Just to kind of see where we're at. Christian Darsal, I'm probably saying that wrong. He went number 13. Yeah, the Chargers need an offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
They new quarterback, young quarterback who showed a lot of promise. I really liked him. He was on my fantasy team, so I really liked him. He did really well, but yeah, you got to have somebody blocking for him. The
Yep.
Bears make a trade, so they jumped up and went up and got, in this particular case, J.C. Horn. That's the son of, is it Joe Horn? It was the wide receiver for that did the famous cell phone, pulled out the cell phone when he
Oh,
scored a touchdown.
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's his son. That's his son. So
Huh.
he went. There's a lot of sons that we're starting to get old, man. There's a lot of sons of players that we have heard of. It's like Asante Samuel Jr., J.C. Horn, somebody else too, and I can't think of who it is. But yeah, there are quite a few sons in this draft. Micah Parsons, that's my guy. He went to New England, and then edge rusher. I'm not even going to destroy his name. Ojulari, I think is how you say his last name. I always screw it up. Good edge rusher from Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm not going to try to screw up his last name. Jeremiah from Notre Dame. He's a linebacker. And Christian Barmore from D tackle from
From
Alabama
Alabama. Yeah.
has gone ahead of you. So up to you.
So,
Let's take a look at your
well, we
Washington
need
team
all.
needs.
I mean, obviously, yeah, we could use linebacker and safety and all that, but right now, Washington is in kind of the opposite position that Dallas is in. We need offense. We need anything on offense.
You need
Now,
weapons.
well. Now, you know how I think.
I
Now,
do.
Najee Harris, I mean, he's a good running back. Alabama's a good name to have. Um,
I would
but
be stunned if you took him.
yeah.
I would be stunned if you took him.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help to have a running back if you don't have anybody blocking for him. Two,
Sure.
this is still very much a passer's league. So I think I am actually going to go with.
Are you thinking more position oriented? I was going to say, you want me to kind of line up a position here
Well, let me see what we have.
instead of the overall?
Let me see what we have a quarterback. Let me see what's there. But I'm still thinking more like O line.
Yeah.
Kellen Mond. I don't know who any of these people are.
No, I wouldn't. I think all of your quarterbacks are gone basically. So your Trevor Lawrence, your Zach, Mac, this is the pick I think is going to be. If there's a guy that's going to slide, it's going to be Mac Jones. I don't
Right.
know that he's honestly. There are a couple of quarterbacks. We'll get into that probably more as we kind of go along. There are a couple of quarterbacks I would just. Zach Wilson is one. He was a quarterback for 1 year. He had one good year. Excuse me. It's always I always stay away from those guys. But I have, truth be told, I am not a quarterback guy, so I
Mm-hmm.
cannot. Corners, wide receivers, D D line, defensive guys, pass rushers, stuff like that. I'm much better. I cannot. I'm not good at quarterback reading a quarterback there. Uh, but with that said, Mac Jones, I think he should be a first rounder. I just don't think he should go this high. It's kind of what it kind of comes down to.
And I mean, I
But
think maybe looking at him individually in a bubble, sure. But again, right
mhm,
now, when you've got a league that's
quarterbacks are so
they're so quarterback
yeah,
starved, um,
yeah.
it does kind of make sense. Go
I
back
mean,
to yeah,
five quarterbacks went in the first nine picks.
right.
That's kind of
Uh,
where you're at. So
now, just give me the overall offense. Um, I think I'm going to take number 21. I'm going to take I guess it's Elijah, whatever, Vera Tucker, um,
yeah,
both guard and tackle,
hmm
left tackle at that.
versatility.
Yeah, so that's not bad. Uh, okay, better run blocker than pass protector.
Right.
That's a bit of a problem, but can be systemed out a little bit, especially if he's going to be playing guard again. If he's not that great of a pass blocker, okay, fine. I just won't put him at left tackle. I mean,
exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
So, yeah, short for left tackle as well. Okay, fine. But he's, I'd slot him in at guard and let it roll. So that's what I'm going to roll with this time.
All right. So Elijah Vera Tucker. He is the selection. Not long after that, Najee Harris goes.
Sure.
All right. So Gregory Rousseau. dropped way down. Originally, when the draft first or the offseason first started, he was going in the top 15. In fact, he was kind of lined up at the Giants there for a long time.
Hmm.
All right, so we will reject both of these, and it looks like the Eagles are up next. Let's take a look at them. That's you. You're picking for them.
Oh, right. Um. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Um. Offensive center. We've got. I just need. I'm just wanting to look at the overall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Not like
And just as a reminder, you took
got the
Devontae
wide
Smith
receiver.
in the first.
Right.
Yep.
Um. Tell you what. Good grief. What do we have at what do we have at corner? Well, we have that. Let me see that. Sorry, let me go back to Trayvon Moring, that safety and TCU number 33 in the list. What is he? Starting safety, special teams player, overcommits and occasionally gets. I was just going to see if maybe he was a bit more versatile and had a little bit more of a, maybe potential to play corner or even like a, nickel corner or something like that. But
Right.
all right, nah, drop that. Let me see what we got at cornerback overall. Okay. Cornerback, Kentucky, Georgia. Yeah. Let me see some details on those top three there. Just
So
like
overall,
no, the top three cornerbacks. Like Kevin Joseph. Yeah. Nice size, ball skills, large amount of doesn't show great play speed. It's a little. All right. Well, you know what? This isn't my team. We'll take them. Yeah, but apparently they need a cornerback. So all right, I'm gonna
yeah,
at least try and play it as straight as I can.
sure. Again, a couple offers out there. I will reject both of them just because we're not doing that on this round. All right, so what do we need? We went offensive tackle, and I think we got one of the top two guys. I mean, I was not. I think definitely one of the top two guys. Now it's about. It's got to be about weapons at this point, either offensively or defensively. There is a guy that's sitting here. I'm a little surprised he's here still. But this actually might show why the Giants may not go offensive line. Because I'm
Mm.
sitting here looking, and the guys that I would naturally want to draft at this point, guys like Wyatt Davis, uh, oh man, he's a really good player. He's this is the only thing I'd be concerned about with him. There was a significant injury. You have
Mm.
to know about that. But if he were, I would probably be quite happy. Which is, first off, Jared's known me a long time. These are not my kind of players. These are not. There is no glitz. There is no glam. But the Giants, I think, have they need. I've watched too many times our quarterbacks running for their lives, and whether that was Eli or um, the Daniel Jones or Saquon for that matter.
Mm.
Just running, Saquon is just such a great player. It doesn't matter. He can still make something out of nothing. It'd be nice if he had something to make something out of, something more. So I am focused on that because I think you need to build the offense around not Daniel Jones, around Saquon. So that means line. With that said, our defense is really good last year. We need somebody that is special and can make a difference, an impact on defense. You don't have to be the best player ever. You just need to be really great at what you do. The part that they want you out there for, they want you to go get some pass rushing, go terrorize the quarterback. We didn't have that as much as we could have last year. We need a guy that is we're super solid, really good. We're not a really good pass rusher could make us great. And I think that's in this particular case, I'm going to go with Jalen Phillips, who's actually rumored to be a first rounder. He had, again, the only thing that kind of worries me a little bit, he had one great year. He's one of those 1 year guys. He replaced, I forget who he came in for that sat out this season. Actually, I think he replaced Rousseau, if I remember correctly. So, for Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with him. Jalen Phillips is my pick.
Okay.
All right. So, Dallas. Again, all things secondary, all things defense, just in general. And in the first round, we fixed a big part of that going getting Patrick Surtain. So, in this particular case, I think you almost have to go with him. I'm again not going to destroy his name. Levi, D
Mm-hmm.
tackle from Washington. Uh, I think anybody that's like this, he's not much of a pass rusher, but you know what? If you can he's one of your what you used to call
Yeah.
sheriffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
that's what he
big,
is.
just
Clog up the
bruisers.
middle.
Yep.
He's going to play some teams, and I'm thinking the Giants specifically. There's this running back that's there that's pretty good. If you want to do that type of a thing, I think you got to be able to stop that, make teams a little bit more one dimensional. Because of that, we're going to go there. All right, I believe you
Cool.
will be coming up.
Okay.
All right, we'll reject that offer. And just to run it down again, Washington in the first took Vera Tucker,
Took a lineman.
offensive guard.
Yep. Okay. What receivers are left on the board? Okay. Purdue, USC. Let's see. Explosive. Let's the pass get inside. Not a stout. Okay. All right. Lacks height. Yeah.
A lot of short receivers this year.
Yeah, and that's the thing. So I
A
mean,
lot of
can't really
below 6 foot wide receivers this year.
right. Let me see the USC guy. Let me see what he's got going for him. Again, explosive. A lot of lapses. Okay, took his eyes off the ball, but that can be coached.
That's a coaching thing.
Gets in and out of routes. That's more of a coaching thing. You know what? Does a little more than get in the way as a blocker. Okay, does a little more. Well, again, if he's small, that's just going to be what it is. You know what? I'm going to go with him.
Okay.
I'm going to go with him because again, we need a receiver. We're kind of getting down to the.
Actually, a little surprised that you didn't go. That offensive guard. It's you're picking 51. I
Oh
might have gone. I might have gone Davis. I know why you didn't, but I might have gone
yeah.
there.
No, I get you, but yeah, let's roll with it. I might,
Double down type of deal.
for right now. I think as we get to the next round and everything like that, and we can actually do a little bit more maneuvering and things, then I start to make a little bit more plays. But right now, just want to get
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
somebody.
Just to give you an idea, sort of who kind of came off the board afterwards. Alex Leatherwood was one of the guys I was looking at, and he
Yeah,
came off the board right after my pick. Uh, right after that was Richie Grant. Was
right.
trying to see how long before anyone. Asante Samuel Jr. He went. All right, so the Eagles are up next.
Okay.
Just to give you an idea, the Eagles have picked Devontae Smith.
Wide
They went
receiver
wide
and
receiver
cornerback.
and a guy to cover him.
Yep, there we go.
So they trying to work on that edge.
Pretty much. I think
Now to give you an idea, one of the guys who, like I said, the injury must be scaring teams off. I am surprised why it is still there. But again, I don't know about the injury.
yeah.
So they need wide receiver, corner, linebacker, and tight end. So they're
So that's where I think I'm going to start looking
yeah.
at on the defensive side a little bit more for them. So let's see here. We got Nick Bolton. They need linebacker for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Um, see, but so does Washington. And is he going to stick around long enough? Does Washington get to pick next? What picks do I have? I have 74 in the third round, right?
I was gonna say,
Yeah,
y'all are
I've
the
got 70.
defending Eastern Conference champions. So because of that, you pick number 82. So in 12, it would be 12 picks from now.
Oh, so I already picked 74. It says I have number 70,
Oh
round
no,
three,
I'm
pick
sorry, 74.
74,
I'm
then
totally missed that.
82.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
Must
take.
be a trade.
I'm gonna just because I can. Um, I'm gonna take a gamble. All right, show me the linebackers again. I am gonna give them a linebacker. They need one, but I'm gonna give them. Yeah, roll. Okay. I'm gonna give them number 104, Cameron McGroin. McGrone.
That sounds like a name. Those are letters.
Consistency and not a big bodied linebacker, marginal production and coverage, but explosive. Again, like inconsistency in pursuit, that can be coached. Size might be an issue, but but I mean, if he's a
I
good,
would. I don't know if I were them. I would think. So remember that they list things a little strangely for us who think like the old school off defensive guys. Edge guys are linebackers a lot of times too.
right.
So yeah,
Oh, I
just
see. So
kind of
it's more
keep
like an
that.
outside
Yeah. These
linebacker
are
as
more the
opposed to
think pass rusher versus
they're not a defensive end necessarily.
right. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, it's not that type of edge anymore. Sometimes they can put their hand down. Sometimes they will stand up. LT would probably be called an edge now.
Gotcha.
Lawrence Taylor, for
Okay.
those of you who think I was talking about LaDainian Tomlinson.
Well, all right. So, now I'm thinking, do I want to?
Mhm.
So what's on? So okay. So I had the linebackers or what now? Okay, I got Nick Bolton versus the edge, which is so. I mean, it's 68, 71. Let's see. Slow for a stand-up linebacker and small for a defensive end. Had 1 year big-time production at college level. Let's send him to the Eagles.
That does sound like a winner, doesn't he? All
Hey,
right,
close
so
enough.
we're going Joe Tryon. He's
Yeah,
trying. Okay.
yeah, he's trying. He's trying, man. He's
All right.
trying. And
That's it.
that
That's
means
it.
something.
Yep. All right. So couple trade offers there. Get rid of them. To give you an
Okay.
idea of who Washington has taken so
Yep.
far, they've
Yep.
got a offensive lineman and a wide receiver.
Okay. I'm going linebacker. I'm going Nick Bolton.
Nick Bolton.
Yep. We need linebackers. Ron Rivera has already said that he's concerned about linebacker. So
And he does have a good
we
history of
need.
those.
Yep.
So drafting them.
Yep.
All right. The Cowboys. Again, all things defense. That's where they are.
Pretty much. Yep.
Uh, Corner, D tackle. Their defense has automatically gotten better. One of the other options, though, that they need, that there's talk of, you can always use an offensive lineman, right?
Mm-hmm. When in doubt.
Yeah. For that reason, there is a guy that is out there, but their secondary was
Mm.
really bad. I mean, really bad. I can't say it any other way. Extraordinarily bad. They couldn't cover anyone. Because of that, I'm going to say that they're going to double up. I think they're going to go secondary. I don't think they can have too many of them come out of this first 150 or so picks. Every one of them that they need to go get. So with that, got a corner, got a D tackle. We need a safety. I say we in the very broad sense here. So we're gonna go. We're gonna go right here, Florida State, and we're gonna go here, safety.
Okay.
And now the G-men, they are back up. So for Charlotte Slater, Jalen Phillips, I'll be so happy if this was actually how the draft was going to go. Our last pick of this round, of this mock draft, we've got a edge guy. We went and got a guard. It would be extremely hard for me to pass on this. I don't know what his injury is, or
Right.
how bad his injury is, rather. Ohio State, you don't become a national championship caliber team
Mm-hmm.
without having a good offensive line. He had a good quarterback. Running backs come out of Ohio State all the time. You don't do that without a good offensive line. Downside is, I don't know if it's a downside per se. I think we fixed it. I'm going here. I'm going Wyatt Davis.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought briefly about going somewhere on the defense. At wide receiver briefly. I just don't think I just don't think I could do it. Too much ability there. So
Okay. So, number 82, last pick. I
yeah.
think right now, probably the bigger concerns that we probably need to shore up is left tackle.
All right.
So let me see what we're looking at here. I know offensive tackles. Offensive line, offensive tackle, especially. Um, uh, Preferably a lefty. Massive right tackle, probably not. The issue is Sadiq Charles. He's got that same kind of thing with your pick. And Davis, we've got a potential problem here that we probably should shore up. Have a backup for at the very least. And so I think I could do worse than okay. Yeah, second tackle on the board, left first left available. Good solid blind side. Okay, lazy and late with his hands. Okay, that can be coached out. An overpowering run blocker. But that's okay. I think looking at what I got, it's again if
Zach
Charles,
Wilson was the number 2 pick
right,
in this draft,
right,
possibly with the real draft.
sure, yeah.
Can't do it
So
without a left tackle.
nope. So I think we could do a lot worse than shoring that up.
All right.
Maybe even get a little competition in there if Charles comes back healthy. Get somebody in there that might put a little gas under his feet. Maybe say, hey, look, I gotta do this because now we got some young buck in here coming after my spot.
It does motivate.
Yes, it
Competition is a
does.
good motivator.
Yes, it does. So that's where I'm going to go with this. We definitely need to fix that. So outside of everything else on offense, but you know what? Again, doesn't hurt to have line.
Absolutely.
So I still have the Eagles too.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So remind me where we've gone with them. I know I've tried
The
to
Eagles have gone with Devontae Smith,
receiver. Okay. Cornerback.
Calvin Johnson. I
Right.
mean Joseph,
Right.
Joe Tryon.
Joe
He's
trying.
been
He's
trying.
trying. He's trying, man.
hmm
All right. So
So corner, edge, wide receiver.
tell you what. What do we got at tight end? What's left at tight end? Say they need
I'll be
one.
honest with you, I don't know a ton about tight ends this year, aside from that top guy who's not going to make it to the Giants, unfortunately.
Right,
Uh,
right. Well, I'll tell you what. Can I see the best available just on offense? Okay, a lot of running backs, a lot of receivers, a lot of
they don't need a running back for
That's the
sure.
thing. That's the thing. I
Yeah,
would say, you know what? Let's grab Amari Rogers for him.
another wide receiver.
Another wide receiver.
Get some weapons out there.
Yeah,
Yep, you
yeah,
got a
yeah.
young quarterback.
Yep,
You need some weapons. He's got
yep.
good feet. He may be able to run around a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that will bring us to the conclusion of our first. We'll sit here and take a look and see kind of where everybody filters through. Oh, nope.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas is still there.
Oh.
Dallas picks. I thought there was another one, but I couldn't swear to it. Pick number 99. So just take a look and see where we're at. Dallas is taking Patrick Surtain, Levi, defensive tackle out of Washington. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so bad at pronunciations. But safety out of Florida State. And again, that I think you can't go completely defense an entire draft. And I think they have 4 picks here
Yeah.
in 3 rounds. They're going to have 4 picks. I don't think you can go with that much defense. I think if you could throw a tackle in there, he's a left tackle. I think that you could do worse than draft a guy like this.
Mm-hmm.
The board says that there are a lot of defensive secondary and stuff like that are out there. I think you have to at least take a look on the defensive on the offensive side of the ball. Going getting an athletic pass rusher is never a bad thing. I think that's always a good thing to have on defense. But in this case, we're going to have them go take a look, a guy that they can coach up. Hopefully, for them, draft a guy that can block for them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they have a dominant running game and a really good high paid quarterback now. So here we are, the end of the first mock draft, 3 rounds. So Dallas gets Patrick Surtain, Levi, a D tackle, a safety, and an offensive tackle. Pretty solid. Pretty
Yeah.
solid. I mean, as long as they focus on defense, they're heading the right way.
Right.
We'll get these other 2 teams out of the way first. The Eagles, Devontae Smith. I think they would be ecstatic if they could go get Devontae Smith.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. He's that guy. Corner, an edge, and a wide receiver. I think they'd be pretty happy. Again, 3 rounds, and they got 4 players for the top 84. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to my Giants, who have the 3 picks. If the Giants came out with this, I would be extremely happy. Our offensive line would be fixed, barring some. Even if Wyatt Davis had to sit out a year, honestly, if
Sure.
he's sort of that wild card, he could make this draft. He could make our offensive line great if we could add Rashard Slater and Wyatt Davis. Not good, but great. That might be our strength on offense at that point. And then Jalen Phillips again. We need a pass rusher. The only kind of question marks with him, he only did that 1 year. That's always a little dicey. Was it scheme? Is it just because he's that talented, or is it because the scheme just rolls out people? That's just the position that gets the statistics. So it's always a little dicey.
Sure. Yeah, it's
But
it's it's hard to say. And again, you're playing against college teams as opposed to, you know,
right,
actual
yeah,
pros. Are you going to be able to, make those same moves? Do you have enough? Again, if you're saying he lacks bulk, of course, something that Jim can't fix.
you're
Um,
right, right.
uh,
This is the part
concussions
that, like I said,
already. That's again
yeah,
concerning. But
this concerns me a bit too. Like I was saying, is it just the position? Gregory Rousseau, he sat out. He opted out of the season,
mm-hmm,
and he was the top guy of the year before. Here comes his replacement, who also becomes the top guy on the defense. It's always a little dicey. That sounds scheme-ish, scheme a little bit scheme oriented,
mm-hmm.
but yeah. So Washington again, 4 picks. The Giants are the only team in the NFC East not to have 4 picks in the first 3 rounds, so that makes sense. That,
You just don't
that
need as much
tracks.
help, man. That's all. You just don't need as
Yeah,
much help.
yeah, I get it. So yeah. Washington. Well, I'll let you talk about your guys.
Well, again, I think primarily there's, like I say, like 2 areas that I've seen, kind of reading through areas problems from the coaching, especially like Ron Rivera has called out specifically. The offensive side is clearly a problem, but he's mentioned linebackers being a big concern. Offensively, again, I'm going to start with an offensive lineman. You got to build that
Yeah,
base up.
of
Being able to
course.
get a number 19 ranked player, be able to come in there and help block. I can't turn that down. And then what was the? Yeah. So anything on offense, give him a wide receiver. Hopefully, give him someone that can help, that can at least get open, maybe get some space. We don't really have a lot of size at wide receiver in this draft anyway, so might as well go with
Right.
someone that can move. So got Amon. I'm assuming it's Amon Ross St. Brown. So
Sure.
is it like Mumra,
Say it like you know
like Thundercats?
it.
Um,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
had to shore up linebacker. The rest of it was had to make sure we shored up linebacker
Sure.
and left tackle. Both of concerns with what we're seeing with the current folks in place. So you know what, I pretty much just had to shore those up. Got Nick Bolton, and then got Brady Christensen, who had even the number 82 in the draft. Obviously, is a very solid player.
Sure.
And again, has some things that I think that can be coached out to help kind of make up for the weaknesses. And so, yeah, I
Right.
think I
Right.
think the only thing I would say, if I was moving next, probably like we're continuing on, I'd probably say the next down the line would be a safety, especially like a free safety or something like that. But we need to,
Gotcha.
yeah. So, yep, that
And
would
and
be
for the
it.
Giants, if we were continuing on, I would definitely start looking for some weapons,
Yeah, yeah,
offensive
yeah.
weapons.
Yep.
Maybe you always want to throw a corner in there, maybe that type of thing. But I would look for some type of big targeted wide receiver type of a deal.
Mm-hmm.
Probably be my next kind of focus. So, all right, so that is the first of our mock drafts. I figure
Yeah.
we'll
Hey,
go
not
ahead
too
and
bad.
we'll stop here. Yeah, I was gonna say we'll stop here,
Yep.
and then we'll be back shortly and do our next one where we will accept trades or maybe offer trades will be a thing
Yeah.
that we offer and kind of move around a little bit. So
Yeah. Start to
that
make it a little
was a
bit.
little bit. We were the only ones in this draft. I guess I wonder if there's a setting I could have changed that, but we were the ones in this draft that didn't make any trades. However, the rest of the
The
other
other
teams
teams
could make
did.
trades.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I was going to say there was a bit of that if you kind of look at the overall full results. I was kind of scanning through it sort of slowly to kind of give an idea of the type of trade. So right here, you see, I think that was the first of them. Yeah, so that's the
Yeah.
first of the trades. Chicago jumped up in the first round. Cleveland jumped up. The Vikings jumped up. The Bills, they moved around as well. Uh, Arizona moved, and the Jets moved around as well. So that kind of gives you, and like I said, I'll scroll to see, sort of what was going on right around you. There was some trading.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Santi Samuel Jr. And this just give you an idea of sort of
Yep.
who went where, that type of a thing. We are at the bottom. Okay.
Okay.
So
Yep. We'll be right back. We're gonna start and restart the stream after a quick
yeah,
break, and then we will continue on with this mock draft. And again,
yeah,
yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, because we're gonna load this up, these videos up
yes,
there. Again, do the whole like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and yeah,
yeah. We appreciate everybody hopping on.
yeah, yeah. All right, we will be right back.
Yep.
We lost our minds in the darkness of night.